What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Here's the Thing. Today we are going to talk about our second saint of our three-part saint series, and I am very excited because this particular saint has had a huge impact on my life, most primarily through the way that I pray. So I am very excited to share a little bit about his story with you, but mostly talk about the legacy that he has left behind. Saint Ignatius of Loyola was born in 1491 in October in Azpeitia, Spain, under the name Íñigo López de Loyola. And he was the youngest of 13 siblings to both his parents and grew up as an adventurous child. A child that absolutely adored the stories of military battles and conquests, and so wanted to be a part of that, which he eventually became, an officer of the military, and served greatly throughout his 20s. However, at the age of 31, he suffered a major wound after being hit by a cannonball, almost lost his life, almost lost his legs, and spent quite some time in the hospital recovering from that. While he was in the hospital, the only things that were available to him were the Bible and tons of stories on the lives of the saints. And so he decided to read them anyway. And it was through learning about the lives of the saints, through learning about the life of Christ, that Ignatius went through a major conversion and saw that there was another way to be great. During this conversion of his, he vowed to himself and to God in his heart that he was going to be great for him, and that he wanted to be greater than all of the saints that he had read about. After he was released from the hospital, St. Ignatius went to Our Lady at a nearby church, gave her his garments and his military weapons, and vowed to live a life according to the life of Christ. And that is exactly what he did. After tons of discernment and prayer, St. Ignatius, along with Peter Faber and St. Francis Xavier, founded the Order of the Society of Jesus, which we know are the Jesuits today. Tons of religious orders have taken spiritual writings and spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius and have incorporated them into their religious practices of prayer and spiritual living, and that is what I want to talk to you about today. What I love about St. Ignatius is that he found God everywhere and in everything. After he was released from the hospital, St. Ignatius went through a very difficult time of anxiety and depression and kind of spiraled. Didn't really know what to do, how to move forward. And it was through that time that he really dove into the life of Christ, and he allowed the life of Christ to speak to his, which is exactly what he encourages us to do today. In our own turmoil, in our own processes of discernment or attempts to discern and figure out what God is calling us to, St. Ignatius invites us to really look deep into our person, to really consider the things that we fear, the things that we feel, the things that excite us, the ways that God has spoken to us in the past, and the ways that that might shed light on how he's speaking to us in the present and desires to speak to us into the future. I just love St. Ignatius because if you continue to learn about his life beyond this video and beyond the things that you can find on YouTube, you'll see that St. Ignatius believed that the providence of God can be found anywhere and anyone at any time. And it was a matter of diving deep into our person, deep into the ways that God has already spoken to us through the outpouring of his life, through the Gospels, through the saints, that we could find him at anywhere and at any time. That is just a little bit of what I wanted to share with you today. There is so much to be said about this amazing saint, and I would just encourage you to look into him, to speak to somebody who is a huge fan of him, that can share more about his life and their experience with his prayer practices, and see where that takes you in your own prayer life. Thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the LifeTeen channel if you have not already, and I will see all of you next week. Stay holy, my friends. Bye.